Big good one here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, consider sharing that video, anything to help promote and rank up my channel. So, Supergirl is ending, and I did not like the show, but I'm not here to celebrate the death of it or applaud that, because, quite honestly, the damage is done. The show existed, and it derailed any opportunity for the kind of Supergirl I want to exist within this universe. And it's just a strange thing that this show is ending. Granted, the ratings weren't the greatest. It was around Batwoman ratings, but it's quite a shock that Batwoman didn't actually end because the lead dropped out. But this show's ending with its lead dropping out, and those two shows were meant to be heavily tied together. Supergirl and Batwoman, at least to that degree, they're more meant to be these kind of girl power team ups that there's just not gonna be now. And I guess you'll never really see that Batwoman crossover with this Supergirl, or maybe you will before it's ending. I'm not really sure, but I just think it's really interesting. Now, I was never a fan of this show because all the race changing, gender swap, preachy political, LGBT stuff, the avert politics that are just in your face. It's not what I want from a Supergirl show. I want a show about Supergirl, about this superhero that doesn't feel like it's judging people that vote one way or whatever. A show that's, that isn't like catering to one particular crowd while shunning another. And I do like their John Jones, their Martian Manhunters. I thought that what they did with him was amazing. I have a lot of interest in talking about this though because it's strange. They made a lot of effort to connect Supergirl with Flash and Arrow, and of course Arrow ends right when they're doing that because the Crisis on Infinite Earths thing combined all the worlds together. So Supergirl was no longer in this on this different Earth. She was on the same Earth, and she now coexisted with the Flash and all them on the same Earth. And I thought the whole point of that was to make this more accessible and stuff, to do more crossovers and all that. But apparently, no. And the only way for this to work is to just have her go to the future, kind of like Justice League Unlimited did, or to have her just leave the planet or something, kind of like Smallville did for a little bit with their Supergirl. And when I go back to saying I wasn't a fan of a lot of this stuff, one of the things I'm not a fan of is the improper pronunciation. Their version of Kara, they call Kara, and that's the correct pronunciation in their version of Supergirl is Kara. But, Kara Kent is awesome, and this Supergirl isn't really much like that Supergirl. Not really anything close to the one they had on Smallville, and the one on Smallville was a departure, but it was also a better version than this one. This one is more that kind of like Linda Danvers type, classic wholesome type, and there's just a lot of cheesy stuff in this show that never sat well with me. The kind of dialogue, that her behavior and stuff, at least in the early season. I didn't watch too much of this. I would try to come back and check in on this show and just like, no, I just can't do it because Jimmy Olsen's nothing like Jimmy Olsen, and they're just doing all this stuff that just I'm not interested in. I wasn't interested in this show, so it doesn't hurt me that it's ending. For those of you that stuck it out with this show or love this show, it's unfortunate that it's ending. It drums up a lot of real questions, though. It brings up a lot of real questions. Why are they ending this now? Is it just because she got pregnant, or was the plan to always let Superman and Lois because they're getting their own show? But now it's kind of like now they're getting their own show, but there's no crossover potential with Supergirl because this show's ending. So that is very interesting. There is a statement from the lead actress and I'm not fond of what she has to say, because kind of what she has to say is kind of everything I had a problem with the show. Is that she talks about this show teaching people to be better or something to that effect. So that's what I mean by the preachiness. So this is her statement: to say it has been an honor portraying this iconic character would be a massive understatement. Seeing the incredible impact the show has had on young girls around the world has always left me humbled and speechless. Now, I'm not familiar with this show making any kind of huge impact on young girls in the world. I'm not. I still think that the Smallville Supergirl is way better, or the Superman animated series from the 90s that bled into the Justice League Unlimited. I think that's a way better Supergirl than this one here. I do not like the portrayal of this one. So she went on to say she's had that impact on me too. She taught me strength I didn't know I had, to find hope in the darkest of places, and that we are stronger when we're united. What she stands for pushes all of us to be better. She has changed my life for the better. I'm forever grateful. I just feel like that's kind of preachy. She pushes for all of us to be better. Granted, that's what all heroes do, but the show was just always felt like it was trying to be preachy and lecture, at least the parts I saw. Now, and I guess in defense of the show, I didn't tune in for every part of it, because I tuned out and I tried to come back, and I just couldn't stick with it, man. So she went on to say, I'm so excited that we got to plan our conclusion to this amazing journey. So they do have it planned out. There is going to be some kind of satisfying conclusion. And I cannot wait for you to see what we have in store. I promise we're going to make it one hell of a final season. So, the show is ending, and there's just a lot of questions. Why bother doing that whole Crisis on Infinite Earth things if Supergirl's no longer going to be relevant? Now, will Martian Manhunter and stuff be a part of the Flash? Because that'd be really cool to have, because I think their Martian Manhunter's pretty good, at least in appearance and the voice. The guy's got it down. I mean, he makes a great Martian Manhunter. So maybe you could see him over there on the Flash. They could do special episodes with him, or he can go on to do the kind of Justice League thing or something. Who knows what they'll do with leftover characters from this? Most of them, not sure. But I've kind of not looking too forward to any CW stuff except for Stargirl. I tuned out the Flash. I don't think the Flash, they got rid of Hartley Sawyer over some jokes, but, Ezra Miller can take a woman down by her throat and still have a job. Hartley Sawyer made some jokes a few years ago, and apparently that's worse. Supergirl is hanging up her cape, and the real question is, that there's that Superman and Lois show. Are all these writers going to go over there? What's going on there? Obviously, for fans of Supergirl that are likely going to be fans of Superman and Lois, it sucks that you're not going to have her cross over there, because usually when these guys are done, they're just done. So you're probably not going to see them over there. So you've got the Flash left, you got Black Lightning and Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow, which I'm surprised Legends of Tomorrow is still on the air itself. But you've got those shows, and now you've got Stargirl going over there. So I don't know what kind of connection Stargirl will actually have with the rest of this stuff. Quite frankly, no offense to Arrow fans, but I'm hoping it has very little connections. It maintains very little connections, if any at all, because Stargirl, for me, production-wise and all that, is just way better. Flash was great for its first 2 seasons, but it's kind of dwindled in satisfying content. it just feels like it's taking a steady drop downhill. Just so, what does this mean for fans? Well, you have no more Supergirl. You have your Black Lightning. You have your Batwoman, and I'm pretty sure, cause I mean, no offense, but Supergirl leans left, and CW leans very left, and those that lean left in the political spectrum seem to be in favor of this kind of, those that preach diversity matters seem to be in favor of this kind of racial segregation stuff. Where so I'm pretty sure that Black Lightning and Batwoman, now that it has a black lead, I'm pretty sure those two shows are going to go on to have strong ties. I don't think the new Batwoman's performance can be any worse than Ruby Rose's. That was another show that, in its defense, I didn't really watch. I seen enough to find it cringe enough to not want to get into. Plus, I have no interest in Batwoman. If it was a Batgirl show about Barbara Gordon, sure, I'd be on board. I'd go watch it. But due to it being a Kate Kane Batwoman thing, not in my interest. So that's what you're going to get. Next season of these shows, they're probably not going to do any crossovers anyway, because the whole pandemic stuff, I believe I saw that somewhere anyway, where they're going to scale back on the big crossover events they do every year. But they're going to have some real solution for why you don't encounter most of these characters on, say, over on the Flash or something like that, because the Flash isn't too far away from where they all are now that everybody shares the same Earth. Yeah. But that's the news there. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about Supergirl ending? Do you feel good about it? Did you never like the show? Did you like the show? Do you feel sad about it? Do you think it's they wasted Crisis? Do you think it's a missed opportunity now that they're about to have Superman and Lois, and they're not going to have any crossovers with Supergirl because Supergirl's just going to be gone? And since Batwoman and Supergirl were kind of like buddy, and Kate Kane's out of the picture, and now Kara's gone, who's Batwoman supposed to pair up? Do you think it's going to be Black Lightning? Because I do, because, like I said, no offense, but people on the left side of the political spectrum, see, those that lean like really hard left, those that are very, very political on the left side of things, often promote things there that the ones that promote diversity matters often also equally promote things that are kind of racial segregation with, if we're going to have a black show, we need a black director and a black writer and I mean, I don't get that stuff, but yeah, because apparently a white person can't understand how to write for a black person or whatever. Whatever, dude. Anyways, just let me know your thoughts and opinions on all this stuff right here, on this Supergirl stuff, and on that Batwoman stuff there. Fake Goodwin here. Smash the like, consider subscribing, and stay awesome. Rock on.